What if it was Groot? You gonna leave him behind too?
I am Groot.
Don't talk like that. That's not what this is about.
Isn't it though? We're supposed to be a team. Teams don't leave people behind.
Tell that to the giant Kratakan army of robots and brainwashed believers we barely got away from.
Gamora.
Is that?
Yes,
How'd you get back?
it doesn't matter. I failed. Raker lives.
For now.
We have to go back. We can't leave Nikki there. What he'll turn her into.
Blah, blah, flarkin' blah. So, you got stepdaddy issues and had a horrible childhood. Ooh.
Rocket!
What? It's true. Guess what? You ain't the only one here who had it bad. It don't mean we're angling to commit suicide because some pseudo-priest nutjob is doing surprise nutjob stuff. If we go back there, we're dead. D-E-D! Dead!
I am Groot.
I'd rather die with honor than without.
Who crawled up her butt and died?
I am Groot.
So, get the Flark out of Dodge?
Not yet. We should try to get a hold of Cosmo instead.
I am Groot.
Great plan, only he ain't answering the passport.
Okay, but what choice do we have? We don't have comms.
Well, actually, we might have comms. It turns out they weren't as flarked as I originally thought.
Really?
Groot should be able to raise them. Okay.
Sounds like Murder Mom's feeling more stabby than usual.
You all right there, Drax?
I am pondering that question.
And that makes total sense. After what happened with Nikki and that twisted promise, having to watch the people we love die all over again.
My family did not simply die. They were murdered. By Thanos. I do not wish to discuss it.
Quill and I...
What are you working on, Rocket?
Just a little upgrade for the Milano's weapon systems. I told you I'd put that quarantine zone tech to good use if you hit it from Nova Corps.
Cool. How soon can we try it out?
Depends on how long you're gonna stand there bothering me. You want something? Let's see what we can make with the parts you've got. Hey, Starscut. I hope you appreciate me more after all that.
I see you have discovered my criminal record.
Yeah. I guess I couldn't help myself. I mean, it's a rap sheet.
I suppose that it is impressive to criminals.
Reformed criminals, as in past tense. We're legit now, remember?
I do not think we share the same definition of legitimate.
Okay, fair, maybe not, but still. Guy who kills Thanos ends up in the most infamous prison in the galaxy? It's gotta be one hell of a story.
Which part would you like to hear, Peter Quill? How I allegedly killed the Mad Titan, or are you enamored by my stay in the kiln?
What was it like in the kiln?
You would not have survived a cycle. Why?
I maybe know someone there.
Then pray they died quickly.
Yikes. It's really that bad?
Worse. However, after the chaos I wrought in my misguided quest for revenge, it was a well-deserved punishment.
Right. The rampage.
That is one way to describe it. After my battle with Thanos, I became convinced that he still drew breath. I demanded proof, but when none was provided, I convinced myself that others were concealing his location. I saw his hideous visage in every shadow, and murdered anyone I thought was hiding him.
Some of which were very bad dudes.
Perhaps. It is not my place to judge.
So, how'd they stop you? Nova Corps, I mean. You're Drax, the Destroyer. There's not a bounty hunter alive who could have taken you down.
I surrendered.
What? Why?
I had succumbed to madness, and become the very thing that I hoped to vanquish. Once I realized that, I could not live with the monster that I had become.
Thanos, obviously. I mean, it's the Mad Titan. He was supposed to be untouchable, and then BAM! Player 2 is joined. Just, how'd you do it? How'd you take Thanos down?
With sorcery.
Come on, really?
Really. After Thanos murdered my family, rage filled my heart. In my search for revenge, I found Mentor.
You mean a mentor, right?
No. Mentor is his name. And his brother Cronus. Sorcerers. They gave me a sleeping potion that would grant my greatest desire. Finding and killing Thanos.
You're messing with me.
I am not. When I awoke, I was changed. I could sense the Mad Titan's vile life force, feel it pulsating from across the galaxy.
Wow, that's
I know how it sounds, Peter Quill.
And I believe that you believe this happened. It's just, it's pretty out there. Even for space stuff.
Regardless, I followed the pulse in my mind until it led me to a moon in the Black Quadrant. And there, I found Thanos, hiding like a coward. Our battle waged for days. Each of us trading blows across the moon's inhospitable surface, equal in strength, equal in our resolve to see the other dead once and for all.
And then you delivered the final blow.
I recall throwing a final swing before I collapsed from exhaustion. When I awoke, I was in a hospital on Elanis. Many rotations had passed, and I was being hailed as a hero.
For killing Thanos.
Allegedly. The very fibers of my being say otherwise. I can still feel him out there. I have no doubt in my heart that he survived, just as I did.
Well, the important thing is that you're here now, with us. Man, we're not going back to prison anytime soon.
That remains to be seen.
Can't wait for Starpants to see what I do to the weapon system. It's gonna be great, right, Musclehead? Whatever. So, Drax, you feeling sucky because Quill took my side?
Peter,
Gamora. Hey.
is that Corell's Galactic War Commendation?
Yeah. I rescued it from her office. I was planning to give it back to her until...
No one could have predicted that Corell was dead. Or that Nikki would be the matriarch.
Or that she might be my kid.
That too.
She's gonna have questions and I don't even know where to begin. How did you and Mom hook up? Why weren't you around? Did you even want me? I've become my dad.
Do you want to practice on me, answering her questions?
Corell never told me about Nikki. She had a chance to tell me 3 years ago and she didn't.
What happened?
You have to promise not to judge me too harshly.
I can't promise that. I love judging people.
Fine. Corell maybe kinda caught me with a kidnapped 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, I can see why Karel wouldn't have mentioned Nikki.
It's not like that. I didn't kidnap the kid, Yondu did. I told him it was wrong, that we had to give her back, and he disagreed. So I stole the Milano, and I was trying to return her when Karel just happened to intercept me.
Mm-hmm.
Look, after the Galactic War ended, Karel and I went our separate ways. I rejoined the Ravagers and she joined the Nova Corps. It's not like we had a future together. When she caught me with the kid, when I saw the disappointment in her face, I knew I had to turn over a new leaf. Even if it meant turning in Yondu.
You're the reason Yondu's in the kiln? No wonder there's a bounty on your Earth name. He must have been pissed.
Yep. But I'd do it all over again. What gets me is that Karel had plenty of chances to tell me about Nikki, and she didn't. If I had known, maybe...
The important thing is that you know now.
Yeah. I already told Nikki some of the story.
But not all of it.
What was I supposed to say? Hey kid, I hooked up with your mom. I might be your dad.
Maybe not that.
I mean, it was war. I was with the Ravagers hitting Shatari supply chains. You know, pirate stuff. None of us had any long-term plans beyond survival. Especially not kids. Hell, I only met Karel because I heard Earth was in Shatari's crosshairs.
Mercury, yeah, I remember. Richard Ryder established an outpost on the planet's surface.
An undermanned, undergunned, and horribly outnumbered outpost that didn't stand a snowball's
Nikki would understand that, I think.
It was so... We thought we were too late, so when Karel and her squad came out of those caves, she was just so... badass. Her forces had been through the ringer, but she wasn't about to give up Mercury without a fight.
That definitely sounds like the Krell I remember.
I tried to convince Yondu to stay and help retake the outpost, but he saw no profit in dying, so I stayed instead. We spent hours strategizing together, often late into the night. It took 3 days to come up with a counterattack, and even then, it was risky. We thought we were gonna die.
But you didn't.
No, we didn't. And now I have to figure out how to tell my estranged kid her mother's dead. Anyway, until we get Nikki back, we've got bigger fish to fry. This stuff can wait.
True. But when you are ready to talk about it, just be honest with her. The rest will fall into place.
Yeah, you're probably right. Hey, Bluebird, you copy? I know you think I sold you out, and...
Who's Bluebird?
Gamora, I was just...
Who are you talking to? What's a Bluebird?
It, was Yondu's call sign. He was Bluebird and I was the kid.
Let me get this straight. Yondu Udanta, leader of the Ravagers space virus, scourge of the Sirius system and all-around scoundrel, used Bluebird as his call sign?
Even had it embroidered on the back of his jacket.
Amazing.
It was amazing. Pretty much from the day we met.
How did you two meet? Terrans and Centaurians aren't exactly neighbors.
We met on xPPrime, about 3 years into my sentence.
Wait, Yondu was a prisoner of war? I thought the Ravagers were neutral.
They were, and they also weren't. The Ravagers had a simple code. Steal from everyone. Yondu said it made them neutral.
But they weren't. I specifically remember several Shatari transports being hit when I was still... you know.
They hit just as many resistance ships, until a Shatari cruiser uncloaked in front of them during a raid and...
Yondu ended up on xPPrime, with you.
After we broke out, he could have left me on some space station or dropped me off at the nearest Nova Corps base. But he didn't. Instead, He invited me to join the Ravagers.
You were with them a long time. Must have enjoyed it.
I did. Being a Ravager was the first time I felt like I really belonged, if that makes any sense.
I felt the same way when I joined Richard Ryder and the Resistance. Like I was finally in control of who I wanted to be.
Yes, exactly. Those first few years, it was like I had joined this really big, really dysfunctional family, which, now that I'm hearing it, would make Yondu my...
Space Dad?
Could have been worse. Yondu and I were cellmates. First thing he said when they put him in my cell was, "Boy, don't be going and getting attached, because I'm just here for the food." And the food was pretty terrible, so...
Yeah, that sounds like Yondu.
I had cellmates before, and none of them lasted long. The Shatari have these gladiatorial games, and...
You got used to people dying.
Not sure about that, but I didn't expect anyone to last long. I also didn't have my translation implant back then, so I might as well have been alone. But Yondu, he actually spoke English. Said he'd offered to translate in exchange for extra rations.
So even in the snake-infested hellhole, ever the schemer.
It's something we had in common. I'd been scheming for a way to escape since the day they took me. I just needed someone like Yondu to make it seem possible.
How did you escape?
Let's just say it was equal parts simple, complicated, and kind of embarrassing. But it ended with the two of us delivering a transport full of stolen supplies straight into the hands of the Resistance.
For a bucket load of units, too, I bet.
Anyway, once we did, there was no going back. I was a Ravager. Well, if you don't mind, I think I'd like to be alone for a bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll see you around.
Yes, little one.
You talking to me or the llama thing?
I was addressing the creature. She somewhat reminds me of my daughter.
Are Cadathian girls covered in fur?
No, but they are resilient and stubborn, like the creature.
I saw you looking at those emergency door controls, stupid llama thing. You better not try eating them. I hope that was llama speak for I will not chew up your shit. And that better have been an acknowledgement. Where's the damn spanner? I'm sure I left it around here. No. Don't tell me that flarking thing... Oh, flarking holla. Oh, okay, it's over there. But no eating spanners! Hey, Groot, remember Hark Tafod's security system from last time? Won't look like nothing compared to our new weapons array.
I am Groot.
No, it won't drop bad guys into a bunker. Where are we supposed to put a bunker in space? Hope somebody makes the right call and gets us out of the way of those church idiots. It ain't
Hey, Gamora.
Go away, Peter.
Come on. Just thought I'd check in. That was some pretty heavy stuff you said earlier. Wanna talk about it?
I don't need a pep talk.
Okay. All right. No talking. Let's sing it out.
What?
Oh, oh, who's the hunter? Who's the game? You feel the beat, call your name. Come on, I know you know this one. I hold you close in victory. I don't want to tame your animal style. You won't be caged in the call of the wild. Come on, sing it!
Shooting at the walls of...
Shooting at the walls of heartache.
Bang, bang!
I am the warrior.
I
am the warrior. And heart to heart, you win. See? Just singing.
All right, I like that one. Gets me every time. What did you want to talk about?
Want to talk about the guy whose arm you just ripped off?
There's nothing to talk about.
You chopped his arm off.
And that's all I did. He's still out there with Nikki manipulating her with his slick lies and flarked up promises. Making everybody think... we can't bring them back.
Who did you see? In your promise? Got a feeling it wasn't Thanos.
No one. Nothing. It was just a lie. Which is why we need to stop it.
Right. I'm working on that. Just... try not to slash the cargo bay in half.
Watch it, Peter! You could fall on my sword if you're not careful. Could you move? Can't exactly complete a routine if you're walking about.
Looks broken. Maybe Rocket can fix it. Groot! Hey, buddy. I was just, checking to see if everything was okay. And it is. Okay.
I am Groot.
Too bad this translator's busted. I was hoping it might have Groot stored on it, or something.
I am Groot.
That way I could download it into my translator. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on stuff without, you know, Rocket always filtering it.
I am Groot.
Actually, hold that thought. Yo, Rocket!
What?
Can you come here for a sec?
What do you want, Quill? I'm busy.
Think you can see if this translator has Groot's language on it?
It doesn't.
You didn't even check.
Don't need to. Cheap scut like that don't have rare language packages, and even if it did, it's beyond salvageable.
Really? Wait, do you have Groot's language package installed in your translation implant?
Do I look like I'm made of units? Only folks who got that language package are rich people.
So you actually speak Groot then?
You mean Talinisan? And yeah, I speak it, more or less. Me and Groot been bounty hunting together for a decade before you came along, Quill. When you've been working together that long, you develop a common understanding.
I am Groot.
You say misunderstandings, I say open to interpretation.
I am Groot.
They didn't go sour. We didn't need those jobs anyway.
So you guys learned to understand each other over time.
And with the help of a spreadsheet of Groot's lexicon, which ain't no easy feat when your entire language sounds like I am and Groot.
So there's hope for us yet.
I am Groot.
You know, I didn't always have a translation implant. I mean, I was feeling Spanish before I left Earth, not that Spanish would have prepared me for all of this.
I am Groot.
Man, those first few years, you know how hard it was to get by without having any idea what people were saying? Half of the languages out here sound like white noise, weird birds, and messed up theremins. I don't even want to know what Rocket actually sounds like. TV did not prepare me for the realities of living in space, let me tell you. Honestly, man, you're lucky you have Rocket. I mean, I know what it's like to be surrounded by people and have no one understand you, how lonely that can be. I'd have been lost. You must have been lost too, before Rocket and us.
I am.
I probably don't say this enough, but you really are an important part of the team. I can't imagine the Gardeners of the Galaxy without Groot. And who knows, if this thing does have your language in it and Rocket can download it somehow or hack it or, I don't know.
I am Groot.
It'd be nice to finally talk to you. For real. Glad we had this little chat.
I am Groot.
Awesome. Cool. Did Rocket move his crate?
Yeah, I did. I got a plan for those gun parts. You're gonna love it.